listening to and watching What's the Tea with two former support workers that are just catching up over a cuppa. And basically, trying to help navigate life for not just us, but you at home as well, hopefully.
It's not like we're experts at navigating our own lives.
We're not, no. If you listen to the last episode, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
How's life been?
Now, you see, that's an awkward question to ask.
Why?
To answer. Because it's been about 30 seconds since we last recorded one.
And why are we recording it so
Because
close?
every now and then, when the wind blows in the right direction, I take a holiday.
Who authorised that?
I think it was my boss.
You're on holiday. Going anywhere nice?
I'm going down to Cornwall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll be thinking of you when this goes live.
Actually, I think this goes live when I'm on holiday.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And the time needed to edit and things like that between recording and going live and things like that, it just wasn't going to work. So I was like, let's do it. Let's do two back to back.
Hence why you've not seen an outfit change. We should have planned an outfit change.
We didn't think that through, really, did we?
Oh, next time if we have to do it again.
So this episode's probably going to be a little bit shorter because, less stuff has happened.
Well, yes, obviously.
Recordings.
Yes, because obviously we've not had the gap of recording. But also, we had an interesting comment on our Facebook about wanting to talk, for us to talk a bit about budgeting and kind of tips that we might have for budgeting and when you're living on your own. Because obviously, as you guys will remember, budgeting probably at the YMCA was a little bit easier because obviously everything's kind of included in the price, and you might not find that wherever you're going, and circumstances change. You might start work and things like that. So
is it easier or was it just different? Because it's always because I guess it's the same set of skills.
It is,
but
I guess there's less
it kind
to
of
budget
depends
for,
on what. But
good point.
it's still the same. But if your income isn't increased, then
I would say it's definitely different because, I went from a place where bills were included. Yeah. And then I went to a place where I had to pay my own bills and navigate kind of all of those things. So what we thought is we would just kind of share some of the tips that we've come across in our life that might help people with saving and budgeting.
Now, the first tip that was actually shared by one of our former residents was, and I loved it, and it's because I'll get on to why in a moment, but the tip itself was to have a separate bank account for bills and rent and things like
that's
that.
true.
So very much like taking the money you can't spend and putting it out of reach. And the reason why I loved it is because when I was at university I messed up on rent.
Oh, did you?
Yes. And I was like...
Do you know what? Some of your residents that you supported are going to love this story. Because I'm pretty sure you probably gave a few warnings for people that may have missed a rent payment or two.
I may have missed. I may have given one or a few warnings.
So how did you mess up paying your rent then, Andy?
I just didn't have the money. I just ran out of cash.
What did you do?
So basically, because my cash flow was very much, I'd get a lot of money at the start of each term.
Yes, you do that, yeah.
And then you've got to make that last for term.
Yes.
And by the time December came around, I had no money. Because I got given cash in September.
Did you not just pay all your semester's rent up front?
No, so this was in a private rent.
Yeah, private rented, you could do that.
No.
Did they not let you?
They're
a bit harsh.
That wasn't an option. It was very much monthly payments.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember if it was for December rent or for January rent.
Well, it's around Christmas time, so yeah.
It could have been for January rent.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got no money. Really sorry. And I was very apologetic, very much made a point of saying, look, I will pay it next month. I explained the plan for it, explained how I was going to do it. And she was an absolute star and no problems at all.
That's good, you're a nice landlord, yeah.
Quite possibly, yeah. And what I did from that point onwards was I did this.
Okay, so you did what the advice was on Facebook. Oh, nice.
This was quite a few years ago. So there wasn't any easy kind of computer-based moving of money or anything like that. It was very physical, very much kind of going to the bank, taking, I'm going to say, some money out the bank, walking to another bank, paying some money.
Was online banking not a thing when you were younger?
Not really.
Gives you a clue of Andy's age there.
A little bit. A little bit. I mean, it might have been a thing, but
I don't think it was.
I'm not really sure. No. It definitely wasn't as user friendly as it is now.
You wouldn't have had the app. You would have had to go on to an actual computer, type in. It was not. It wasn't easy as it is now.
So it was very much So seeing this advice come in very much brought me back to
that moment.
That moment of kind of going from one bank account, from one bank branch, taking cash out, walking down the street, feeling really nervous, putting it back in, breathing a sigh of relief, and just managing my money that way. I was like, whew.
Yeah, no, it's a good tip to have, really.
Don't carry that much cash on you.
Oh yeah, please don't do that. Yeah, no, that's
internet banking.
That's not great. Yeah, use internet banking.
Yeah,
it's available now.
It's
please
now
do that. Do you want to talk a bit about Plum? I see that you've put
Plum.
Yeah, Plum down on our notes.
Now, Plum is not
the fruit. It's not a fruit. There is a fruit.
It is a fruit,
but that's not what we're referring to.
There's also a singer called Plum as well.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll send you a link sometime.
Is it someone before my time?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. American-based singer.
Oh, okay. Anyway, moving on.
So what Plum does, I'm going to say it's an app.
I think they do have an app form.
Yeah. I think it's an internet service.
Yeah.
Where basically you kind of give them access to look at certain data around your bank account. And it looks at data and it works out how much you could save.
Oh, nice.
And it automatically removes that money from your bank account and puts it into your own savings account.
Oh, wow. So it does it for you.
So it does it all for you. You basically set it up and leave it for like the next month. And when you've got to reset it. Nice.
I like that. I might have to look into that. For those that are a little bit conscious about kind of safety and data, that sounds, quite troublesome, that it has access to your data and it moves the money for you.
So I don't really know all the kind of ins and outs of it. So I'm not going to, as I said at the start, I'm not going to set myself up as an expert in this field. I'm not going to set myself up in digital security or anything like that. But it uses what's known as a protocol known as open banking, I believe is the term.
Okay.
And it's basically the way that to kind of ease how information is shared between financial services.
Yeah.
So good question.
Yeah, and I think it's worth saying, like, if you are a bit conscious about kind of people having access to your data, especially your banking information, most websites that will have kind of something at the bottom to say that they are regulated and they're safe. So keep an eye out for that.
Services.
Yeah, exactly. So which means that it's a safe service to use.
Yeah.
One other tip for me is like income and expenditure. So, some of the people that I've support worked are going to probably roll their eyes at me because they were like,
I've got to do one of these forms again.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not giving you guys homework at home. But no, I think it's important, like, especially when you move places, your bills are going to change. If your income changes, it's going to change, how much kind of disposable income you have. And when I refer to disposable income, it's the income you have left over once all of your essentials are paid for. So you can do it on like Google Sheets or Excel, or there's like I'm sure there's other apps that you can do it. So I use Google Sheets because it's, you can do all the algorithms and it calculates it all for you. So it's basically putting what your income is down, what your essentials are, so bills, putting that down. And then also if you owe any money, so if you've got like credit card debt or, anything like that, is putting that in. And then basically it can work it all out and say what disposable income you have left to spend on whatever you want or to put into savings. And it's a good way to navigate it, especially as each year bills go up in price because of inflation. So you can then amend it and edit it that way, just to know, like, do you need to move some money around? Do you need to cut back on things like that?
I think it's important to point out that it's not a supported accommodation thing in any way, shape, or form.
No, it's not. It's a life thing.
I had to do something like that when I went to apply for a mortgage.
Yeah. Well,
You've often got to do something like that.
Exactly, to show you can afford it. Yeah.
Saying, this is what my income is, this is what my outgoing is. Now, let me pay you rent or a mortgage or whatever it is.
Yeah. So, if you're going to ask to borrow money, such as a mortgage or anything like that, they will ask for it. And, like I said, I use this and I still use it. I went from a house share where everything was included in my rent to having to pay for my own bills, and it was a new way to navigate my own expenses.
I'm going to steal the next one.
Oh.
Or maybe we both talk about the next one.
Yeah, I think both, because I use it and I love it.
Me too. Monzo.
Love Monzo.
Bank account. We're not sponsored by Monzo, by the way.
But if Monzo do want to sponsor us,
indeed,
we're not going to say no.
There are other
banking,
financial services, banks available.
Yes. But I think just Monzo is just so user friendly.
That's it.
And also you don't have to go into a bank. You can set it up on your phone. You just need photo ID and basically a camera to film yourself to get, identity checks.
We've not actually said what Monzo is.
I thought you did. I said banking. Oh, okay. So Monzo is
an online bank.
It's an online bank, yeah. So you get your own card in the post once you've registered. But the great thing about Monzo that I absolutely love, and we talked about this before filming, is you can create different pots of money.
Yeah.
So what that means is you have one bank account, but on the app you can have different pots that you can set up. So you can set up one for bills. So all your bills, when you get paid, go into a pot, and then your direct debits come out of that pot. You can also set up a pot for savings as well. And also what's great about the pots is, I've said pots a lot now and it sounds really weird when I say it, but what's great about the pots is you can lock them as well. So you can have like a savings goal, and you can say when you want to reach that savings goal, so you're not tempted to withdraw that money out of your accounts. So Monzo is just great. And I think at the moment I saw that if you have if you want a Monzo account, someone can refer you, and the person that refers you, they did it a little while ago, I think they started it again, you get £5 for referring someone. So so if you know anyone that needs a Monzo, you could get £5 for referring them. So but double check my information on that one, because like I said, I don't work for Monzo. I'm not a Monzo expert.
We're not sponsored by Monzo. If they'd like to sponsor us, we're open to
any
discussion.
Sponsorships we'll take, yeah.
And there are other
banking platforms
available.
Yeah. Cashback. So again, I'm going to say Monzo does this, but also my other banking apps do this. Is cashback. And
there are also services that are cashback websites.
Yeah, cashback websites and things like that. So basically, it's looking at your your own banking app, and there might be a cashback option. So I know Santander does it as well, along with loads of other banks. And what it means is if you shop at certain places, you might get 3% cashback. I know certain banking apps and banking providers offer cashback on certain bills that you're paying as well each month. So it's a good way to save money, get money back, especially with the cost of living crisis. It's helpful, every penny counts. And they also, with the cashback, is they've got the roundup. I don't know what it's called. It's called rounding up or something.
Yeah, so some banks do a thing that if you were to pay on your banking card for like a few items, if it came to like £4.50, it would round up to the nearest pound. So it automatically kind of take that remaining 50p and put it into like a savings
like pot for you, yeah. And that's a good way to kind of save those pennies.
We need to stop saying pot.
I know, I just can't stop now. I'm gonna say in the next one because I don't know the next one that you've put down. Looking at our notes. Is the 1p saving challenge. So I've recommended this to a few residents, a few staff members, and I've done it myself, and it's a great way to save money, and it's as simple as it sounds. So it's for 365 days or 366 in a leap year, and basically day one, so the 1st of January, you save a penny, and then each day you save a penny more than what you saved the day before. What is great as well, we will put it on the link for the podcast on Facebook. But if you're not on Facebook and you're listening on other platforms,
it'll be in the show notes.
Yeah, but also you can just Google the 1p challenge, and there's loads of printouts. And basically, what you do is you can print it out or have it on your phone and tick as you save, and you can save quite a large amount of money doing it that way. So that is something to look into because it's a great saving challenge. Go for Andy.
Shop around.
I've not heard of this one.
Well, no. So the advice is to shop around for best deal.
No, I meant, sorry, I was looking at the next thing. I was jumping ahead, sorry.
Okay. So, and especially if you're living somewhere like a city centre, it's a lot easier to go, okay, I'm going to go to this shop for this item, this shop for another item, and do a weekly shop that way round. I don't know about you, sometimes I kind of go to like one supermarket and I'm there trying to work out if it's cheaper to get said item down the road, Tesco's or Sainsbury's or Aldi or whatever. There's actually an app that'll keep an eye on that.
Oh, amazing.
Trolley.co.uk. So I've just done a search for Terry's milk chocolate.
Everybody's essential there.
Well, I kind of figured I'd go for something fun. And I can see that at the moment, so if I was in Morrison's, it would cost £2.
Okay.
According to the app. Aldi, £1.49.
Oh, you're saving a bit of a good penny there.
But also, if I was in somewhere like Tesco's, it's £1.50, and it's like, well, is it worth that one penny to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whereas, if you're in Morrison's or somewhere where it's a bit more expensive, actually, well, maybe it is worthwhile that trip, especially if you're wanting to buy a few.
No, I love that app. I love getting a good deal. I love a good deal and a good bargain. But on that note, though, with food shopping, though, something that I've just thought of is doing an online food shop rather than in person.
Yeah.
Because the reason for that is because you can monitor the total cost of your shopping.
That is possibly the number one sensible advice that we don't do.
You don't do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I'm like, I know that if I walk into somewhere like Tesco's or Sainsbury's or wherever, my eyes just go all over the place.
Oh, I know. It's
more so than normal. And it's like, I'm going to pick that up.
Exactly. Even if you've got a list, it's tempting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because you're like, oh, that's on offer. But I think doing online food shopping, you can monitor, especially if you're on a budget, you can be like, oh, this has gone over my budget. What don't I need? What's not an essential here that I can cut back on? But also, I know Tesco's and Sainsbury's do this, but they've got obviously the Smart Shop, where they've actually got the handheld device. So if you are someone that likes to go in person to check the produce is fresh, because obviously if you're doing an online food shop, you can't check that yourself, is that you can use the Smart Shop to go around and scan. And again, it gives you the total so you can budget that way. And I use the Smart Shop and online shop for that reason, to keep to a budget. And it's really, really helpful that way.
Council tax.
Oh, one of the heftier bills, council tax.
It's the way that we pay for stuff that isn't immediate. Things like the police,
also
the roads,
rubbish collection, recycling, all those things,
all that sort of stuff. How do you make sure you don't pay more than you have to?
So if you live by yourself, you get a singles discount. I think it's 25% discount if you're on your own, which
that sounds
it's a lot of money. That it's 25%. So just make sure that if you do live by yourself, that you've notified the council and you get the discount. Also, if you're on a low income, you can get council tax support. So, as you know from when you lived here, it was housing benefits. It's kind of on the same website, but you can just apply for council tax support. So what that means is you only have to pay a small portion of your council tax because they'll give you some support around it based on your income. So it's definitely worth looking into.
So it is something that's managed by local councils. So if you're not in the Exeter Devon area, just look up the website for your council.
Yes. And it will talk about, what have you got in your savings, your assets, and your income, because it's means tested, so it's based on your income. And that can just help you as well, just like lower the cost of the bills coming out of your own pocket.
So whilst it seems like a lot of work to start with, actually saves you a fair bit of cash.
It does, it does save you a fair bit of cash. Talking about other bills, so obviously electric and gas is a utility that you have to pay for. And if you're like, why is my gas and electric so expensive this month round? I totally would recommend a smart meter. It really just helps you monitor your usage. So if people don't know what a smart meter is, it's basically
it's basically a gadget that looks at your electricity, really.
Exactly, yeah. And most utilities providers offer a smart meter that you can get. It's really simple as well. You might just need to get a technician out, because you might need to change your current meters to a smart meter, but that's free. You don't have to pay for that, and it doesn't really take that long. I think it takes like half an hour at max. And it can just help you monitor your electricity and gas usage, so you can just be a bit more mindful of that and save those pennies.
And that's it for our massive long list, I believe.
No, there's a few more.
Yes, there is. You've got an updated list.
I do have an updated list. That's what I was a bit like. One is obviously if you have a car, petrol can be expensive, and
this is a link you need to send me.
I will send it to you. And each petrol station, for some reason, has different prices. So there is an app now. I cannot remember the name of the app, but I will put the link in there. I think it's just called Petrol Pump. And basically what it does is it's an app that looks at all the petrol stations in your area and will tell you what the price is, so you can look for the cheapest petrol station price. So again, saving you money that way. Are you Googling what it's called?
I am attempting to look for it whilst you're talking.
Okay. So it's a great app. It was recommended, when cost of living crisis and petrol prices went up. So it's a great way to save a few pennies on your petrol. It might not seem a lot that one place is a penny cheaper, but when you're filling up a tank, it does add up, and it does add up over the times that you use it as well. Reward cards. Now my phone is full of reward cards and apps for different places, because you can save a fair bit of money with reward cards. So you can get points, which means then you get money off. You can get free, like if you're a coffee drinker, you can get free coffee. You've got Tesco's club cards, you've got Sainsbury's Nectar cards. So if you're shopping regular at a store and you don't have a rewards card, totally recommend looking at getting one. I know with Co-op they charge £1 for their reward card, but you pretty much get it back straight away. But most of them are free. Okay. And they're definitely worth filling up your wallet.
My brain's still stuck in the words free coffee.
Yeah, free coffee, I know, right? Especially if you love a free coffee. But now we are at the end of our list, Andy.
Sorry.
It's all right. I forgive you.
Hashtag not sorry.
As if you just did that. Never do that again.
Sorry.
But if there's any tips, like we said, this is a list that we've come up with, but it's not all of the tips and money saving ideas out there. One person website you can go to is moneyexpert.co.uk.com. That will have more.
Money saving expert,
something like that. That will have loads of up-to-date ideas. But if you guys at home or, listening, watching, have any other tips or ideas that we have not mentioned that you think could actually save some other listeners and viewers money, then please do leave them in the comments below, because we also would like to know as well. We'd like to save a few pennies, I think, especially Andy, who's coming up with his holiday. He wants some pocket money for your holiday.
I was wondering where you're going with this.
But I think that is it from us today.
So, all right, it's been a bit chaotic today. This is episode 3. And we've all been a little bit different so far for different reasons. So apologies for any chaos.
We love chaos here.
But we want to hear your stories, either stories of a social situation you want to help navigate.
Yes.
Any tips and tricks for navigating life. And also, we talked about this in the last episode. not talked about it today because,
haven't.
well, for obvious reasons that we discussed at the start. Pet talk. We want to see. We want to hear about your pets. We like pets. Send us a picture if you want.
Yeah, and we can always feature them.
Internet. Yeah. But yeah, please drop us a follow, subscribe on your favourite podcast provider. Currently,
please do, yeah.
As long as it's Apple or Spotify right now. And come back in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.